Hey y'all, it's Evelyn with your favorite podcast host, me, Evelyn. The crazy Gen Xer coming to you from the heart of Appalachia, deep within the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. It's another week and it's another podcast. Yay, I am being consistent once a week at least for a couple months now. So kudos for me, right? I deserve a gold star for that one. As y'all can tell, I'm still basically doing this on my cell phone from whatever room I might be in. If you hear the mail trucks, I'm sorry. The post office is across the street from my house, and sometimes they get very loud. I still have not found that little piece that I bought. I bought the piece so that I could hook my really good studio mic up to my iPhone. It's a little adapter because, of course, Apple doesn't play with anything except Apple, right? So I had to get this little adapter, bought the adapter. In the process of me moving stuff from the bedroom into the studio room and all of this, I cannot find the adapter. I found the box it came in, but the adapter's gone. So, as you can tell, not using that this week. Also, I still don't have my room completely set up. Yeah, my studio room is still not completely set up. I know. So, this leads to my topic this week. Also, there's videos I'm supposed to have been editing last week. I still haven't gotten them done either. Here is the topic: procrastination. If you can relate to that procrastination, share this out, okay? Share it out to somebody else you think can relate to this conversation I'm about to have with y'all. How many of y'all have worked retail or in a restaurant or customer service job or just about any job, and you've done this thing called look busy? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Look busy. It's you're really not doing a lot because you just don't feel it that day, but you're looking busy. So they don't try to approach you as something that really needs to be done, right? A lot of us that have worked in the restaurant industry, we clean, right? Basically the easy cleaning, like counters or tabletops or whatever, to look busy when there's really other things that really need to be done, but we're looking busy. So they don't come up and be like, hey, can you go out and scrub down the building or whatever? So when you work for yourself, which I do, I don't have someone else. Looking busy doesn't help me, right? I can look busy all day long, but nobody else is going to do the work. So looking busy does not solve my problem. So this is my thing. This is my thing I do. And I'm sure there are more of y'all out there that do this. Procrastination by way of organization. I know that sounds crazy, but I try to be really organized with certain things. Like I make lists, I have a planner, I have a calendar, I have all of this stuff, right? And so I have spent like several days this week, instead of editing the videos I needed to edit, and instead of, doing these things that need to be done, getting my posts ready to go on Instagram, all of this kind of stuff that I need to do, getting my room set up, my studio room, I have spent a lot of time this week trying to find ways to organize myself better. Because for some reason, I think if I could find the perfect app or whatever that would organize my stuff, then I would be able to get stuff done. But instead of actually just doing stuff, I'm just like trying to organize the stuff I need to do without actually doing any of it. I know that sounds crazy, but those of y'all that do this, you understand what I'm talking about. It's like you need to clean your house, right? Your house is like a mess. So you sit down and you write a list about how to clean your house. You make this like amazing list, right? It's like got subtitles and all of that. It's like this outline for an essay or something. It's like this the most amazing list that you have took like an hour to put together. And then you make this list and you're like, oh, I should make a master list. If I make a master list for what I need to do every week, then I don't have to make this list again, right? So then you go on your computer and you create this master list, right? And it's wonderful and all of this. And then you're like, oh, I need to do a monthly list because there are things that I need to do every month, not necessarily every week. So you go and create this amazing monthly list, right? So you have now created 3 lists to clean your house. And that's your day. You have spent your entire day creating these 3 lists and you still don't have your house clean. Right? This is my thing. This is what I do. This is my procrastination by organization. This is what I'm talking about. If you do this, leave me a little comment down there in the question on Spotify if you can, or share this out to somebody. That way I can tell by all the shares that how many people can relate to this. Because this is so my life. It really is. I will spend days and days trying to create the best organizational system to accomplish stuff. And the whole time, all this stuff that needs to be done is piling up and not getting done. And I just don't know. And I know that I do this. I know that I do this. And I don't know how to not do this. Right? I don't know how. And I feel like I'm not procrastinating and I'm not being lazy. It's not like I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing anything today. Oh, I don't feel like doing anything. To me, that's lazy, right? If I'm like, oh, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to lay here and watch TV. But if I'm working and making a list, right, doing these wonderful organizational systems, then I am working, right? So I'm not being lazy, but I'm still not getting anything done. I might as well have enjoyed the day, binge watching a TV show or something instead of putting all this time into creating these organizational systems that don't really work. And I don't know how to quit doing it. I've done it my entire life. I have organized unnecessary things my whole life. When I was little, I'm an only child. When I was little, and I love books. Okay, I love books. At one point, when I owned my own house before my kids moved out and we downsized and everything, I had over 2,000 books in my basement. Okay, my basement was like the rec room, like the family room. I had over 2,000 books in my basement. Yeah. It's crazy. I love books. I don't have all those books now. I have a Kindle with probably that many books on it. Plus, I still have real books because I love them. But anyway, I lost my train of thought because that's what happens. The train has left and without any passengers. The train left the station. Oh my goodness, y'all. I know I was talking about procrastinating. How did I get over to books? This is me. This is me on a tangent. Sometimes I lose myself on my own tangent. Oh, I know. So anyway, when I was little and I was an only child, I had all these books, right? Because I loved books. So I spent months and months and months creating my own library. And now those of y'all that are younger won't know anything I'm talking about. But those of y'all that are older and had to use a card catalog and had to learn the Dewey Decimal System and all that to be able to find books in the library, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I took all of my books by the Dewey Decimal System, okay? And this was not an easy feat back in the day because we could not just look up stuff on a computer. We either had to know it ourselves or we had to actually go to the library and research it. So I set up all of my books based on the Dewey Decimal System. I made the little pockets in the back of the books where you could put the little slips to check out the book. Y'all remember that? The little envelope things with the cards, and you would write your name on it and stamp it to check out a book. Okay. I made those for all of my books. I mean, I did a card catalog. I did this was intense work that I did as a little kid. I'm talking like elementary school. I was probably like 6, 7 when I did this. Yeah, little kid. And I created this massive library for who? For who? Who was going to come and check out my books? No one. I had no siblings. Who was coming to check these books out, right? And they were my books, honey. I was very much the only child. I was not going to give my books. My friends could not come check my books out of my house. I'm sorry, because they might lose them or get them dirty or let one of their siblings tear them up. No. No, those were my books. They were not leaving my room. So who was going to check these books out that I spent months creating this library? That is just an example of me, even as a child, doing this organization for no apparent reason. And I thought I accomplished, I was so proud of myself when I finished that, right? That I had it all set up by the Dewey Decimal System. I had all of my books. I had all this card catalog. I had all of this stuff. And I was just like, yes, I have a real library in my room. But why? Why did I need that? This is the things I do. You go in my kitchen. Go in my kitchen right now. My cabinets are organized beyond perfection, okay? My pantry, where my canned food is, if my canned food is not straight and lined up and all in rows, and I can't function, okay? That's my cabinet. My food cabinet, where I have my boxed food and my canned food, okay? Yeah. It's amazing. It is so organized. If my whole house looked like that, it would be amazing. But you go and you look at other parts, look at the top of my refrigerator. You'll be like, oh my God. I have all kinds of random crap just shoved on the top of my refrigerator. I mean, I have things from cereal, because I keep the cereal up there because it's too tall for most cabinets. I have things up there from cereal to paper towels to like cold medicine. I mean, it makes no sense what's on top of my refrigerator. It's just whatever will fit there. Okay. But my cabinets are organized. I don't know what this is about me. It's like I have a little bit of OCD in certain things, but not other things. I don't know. It's just, and my cabinets are organized like amazingly, right? In my kitchen. My canned food is amazing. You go in that room that I'm trying to turn into a studio room, you would feel just as overwhelmed as I do. You would be like, how is this little 10 by 10 room, which is also basically my dressing room now, okay? Because I told y'all before that our apartment only has 2 closets, one in each bedroom. And so when we had the game room, the closet in there was Chandler's closet, and that's where he got dressed, right? And our bedroom was my closet. Well, since we've moved the game room into the living room, we moved the bedroom into Chandler's game room, we still left Chandler's clothes in the closet that is now the bedroom. So in the studio room, we didn't move all the furniture because I have 2 dressers. I'm a girl. I got a lot of stuff, y'all. So I had 2 dressers plus my closet with clothes. So the studio room, this amazing TikTok, YouTube studio room, this is what this 10 by 10 room has to do. It's my dressing room. Not just for my regular clothes, but also for all of my cosplay and my makeup and all that, okay? So it is my dressing room. It is a YouTube studio. It is a TikTok studio. It is also a craft room. And it is also where we have a table and chairs. So if people come over and we want to eat a meal sitting at a table with company, it's going to be in there too. Yeah. Because our apartment does not have anywhere to eat. You can't fit a table in the kitchen or in the I mean, we had a table in the living room at one time, but it just wasn't working. And especially now that the game stuff has moved in here, it's not working. So my studio room is my TikTok filming area, my YouTube filming area, my home office, our dining room, my dressing room for everyday dressing, and my cosplay room, and my craft room. So I am just like overwhelmed with how it's all that's supposed to fit in this room, right? And I still want to have like a big open space in this 10 by 10 room so that I can do TikToks and have TikTok area, right? Move around and all that stuff. And also YouTube. Whew. So I've been, a little overwhelmed with that, but my cans in my kitchen cabinet are amazing. And I have been making these organization lists to how to figure out this room. I've been drawing up little plans of how things should be situated. I have been doing all of this stuff now for how long, y'all? How long have I been doing this? Couple weeks, right? And I walk in there and I'm just so overwhelmed. And it's like, I don't want to do this. Let me figure out a better organizational way to do it, right? And then I'll spend days doing this, coming up with some kind of organizational floor plan, all of this fancy shit on the computer. I'll spend days on the computer, moving stuff around, some kind of computerized floor plan. And it's getting nothing done. It's procrastinating through organization. Yeah. I just have to go in there, grab a box and go through it and just make little piles or something, like put all the craft stuff in one corner, all the cosplay stuff in one corner, just sort it out like that and then figure out where to put it all, I guess. Instead of doing all this procrastination through organizational plans. It's just, I don't know why I do it. Anybody else out here listening do this? Do y'all do this? Who out here listening to my voice right now procrastinates all the time by actually making lists and coming up with organizational methods and then watching YouTubes on new organizational methods, which take all day, and developing new organizational methods or testing out new apps and all of this stuff. And then you still never get it done. You just end up with all of these apps and lists and planners and whiteboards on the wall with lists and all of this stuff, and it's still not done. Oh my goodness. If you do that, share this out. If you're listening to this on YouTube, write in the comments and hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Share this out to your friends. And definitely subscribe. Because subscriptions evidently mean a lot on YouTube. And hey, I'd like to have one of those little gold buttons that you get for having so many subscribers to hang on my wall and take a picture of, like all these big YouTubers. And if you're listening on Spotify, answer that little question. If you're listening on something else, share this video. Because I know I can see the shares. I can see how many people listen to it, and I can see the shares, and that lets me know. I'm going to try to start, because YouTube has the new podcast thing. I'm going to be putting my podcasts on YouTube. If I can ever quit, making lists about how to do that properly and watching YouTubes about how to make your thumbnail look right so people click on it. I mean, I've been watching that for days and I still haven't made a thumbnail. I still haven't even edited videos that need to be put on there that I've been working on. It's just like, I just need to do it. Part of my problem is I'm a perfectionist. Okay, I'm a perfectionist and my kitchen cabinets reflect that. And my drawers will be more well organized. Just little areas in my house will be super duper organized, right? And that reflects my perfectionism. But I run myself crazy, not just with this procrastinating through organization, but because I'm seeking the perfect. I'm seeking the perfect organizational system, or I'm seeking the perfect layout for my studio / craft room / dining room / everything else in the house, right? It's this perfectionism and it runs me crazy. And Sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to start something because I know that it will run me crazy. And I don't know, it's a control thing, isn't it? Perfectionism is a control thing. I don't know. Maybe it gets back to my childhood. I had to be the perfect, right? That's a whole nother podcast, isn't it, y'all? Those childhood issues. I was the only child, the only grandchild until I was like 12 or 13. And I was raised most of my life by my grandparents. So, very spoiled, but very, I was perfect and expected to be perfect. Had to make perfect grades, had to keep my room perfect, had to create that perfect library, I don't know. It's just, everything goes back to childhood, doesn't it? But anyway, y'all, this has been like 20 minutes, and I'm trying to make some of these shorter sometimes. And Chandler's getting ready to get home from work. So I'm just going to probably wrap this one up, and let me know. Let me know how many people that listen to this today procrastinate with organization. And also, what are some of your tricks for looking busy at work, right? Some people listening might want to know some of those tricks for looking busy at work. Some of those tricks are like, straightening up shelves. Straightening up shelves can take a lot of time, right? Or straightening up the pantry if you work in a restaurant. That kind of, not necessarily cleaning it, but just straightening it up. Walking around the dining room and straightening up all the little packets that are on the table. Those kind of things. Yeah. What are y'all's tricks? What are y'all's tricks for looking busy? And do you have the perfect organizational system that will just make my life wonderful? If so, let me know. Let me know what this organizational system is that you have. If you have an app, something, let me know. We have all this AI, right, that's coming out, all this stuff, which is kind of scary. But you know what they need to do? I would like them to create me the most perfect system, organizational system, /assistant with AI, not Siri or Google. They're limited. They're too limited. I want basically a personal assistant app that's an AI. And I don't want to pay a lot of money for it, okay? Because my ass is broke. Until I get a whole bunch more listeners and sponsors and stuff like that, I ain't got no money to pay for apps. But somebody create me an assistant so I can wake up and be like, what's on the list today? And she can tell me. And she can just be like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. This is what you need to do. And I can just tell her stuff. I can be like, okay, I need to edit this video and I need to do this and this and this. And I can just tell, and she will just organize it for me. She will organize it for me. I can tell her everything I need to do that week, and she will just organize it for me, and she will be like, okay, girl, it's time to do this. It's time to do this. And that would be perfect. And she can make those lists for me and check them off. There is something about making a list, though, and checking it off that you feel accomplished. So I love to have a list that I can check off. All right, y'all. This has been interesting, and I have now been on here for a little over 20 minutes, and I have been procrastinating. Procrastinating through organization, and now I have procrastinated through making a podcast. But hey, at least I've accomplished something, right? I can check that off the list. Made my podcast for this week.
That concludes today's podcast. Thank you for spending your valuable time listening to this crazy Gen Xer from the heart of Appalachia. Make sure if you like what you heard today that you share it out to your friends. Whatever platform you're listening to this on, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Spotify, whether it's iTunes, make sure that you follow me. Make sure that you give it a heart or a thumbs up to indicate that you like this. And most of all, remember, come back to see me again here at Hey Y'all, it's Evelyn. Love your faces. Have an amazing day. Kisses.